Peace and many blessings, you all. Welcome or welcome back. We have a new moon in Leo today. If you don't know, then you know now that I do these elemental collective readings every new moon and full moon. And I ask questions that are specific to what's going on astrologically as well as what's happening inside of us that may be in alignment with such, which is why I go by the element, because we are full beings. And I always tell my subscribers, I tell my friends, I tell my soul family to not only check for the sun sign, but to check for the sun, the moon, the rising, depending on what planet rules the sign that the moon is in. So for example, with Taurus season and Libra season, right, where those new moons and full moons are around, I'm going to ask people to check their Venus sign, because Taurus and Libra, boom, you know what I'm saying, it's just in alignment with that. And the only reason I won't tell you is if its ruler, the planet ruler of that specific sign, is more so a generational planet. For example, like Uranus. If Uranus rules your zodiac sign, then the energy is not going to have too much of an effect on you personally, but it will have an effect on the generation, people on a wider scope. So there's that. Just don't get sucked into the whole idea that your sun sign is the supreme ruler. I've saw people only watch my videos just because, say they were a Leo, so then they're only going to watch this video on Leo new moon. Whole time you're a fire sign, and there was energy and insight inside of all those videos for fire signs. So yeah, just don't trick yourself out of some insight that you could be using or gaining, I should say. Of course, if you feel called to donate, you find this information, you find this type of insight valuable, leave me a love donation. I will place a photo in a second. Right, and that is how you donate if you feel called. Another way to support me is to send a video to someone, right? Comment on the video, let me know what resonated with you so I can see that you actually received information. And I'm a conversation girl. I love to connect with my people, especially if you're going to keep watching me, you might as well say something. Hi, let's get started. We are in a Leo new moon, as I stated. When it comes to new moon energy, that is when we're calling in energy rather than releasing it. So we are in our manifesting stage rather than our releasing stage. And with Leo season, it's all about shining bright, being exactly who you are, standing true in your authenticity, and that's just what it is. In this reading, we'll be examining how it is that you can be true to your passions, like what could be holding you back from fully expressing that true self, true authentic self, and then in what area are you underestimating yourself and not allowing your full light to shine for real. And we will be beginning with our fire signs. Again, happy birthday to my Leos. Alright, so we come from this full moon in Aquarius to this new moon in Leo. We had a lot to let go of, a lot of thoughts and systems to shed, a realization of certain things that we want to shed within ourselves. I know for me, any type of patriarchal system that I'm upholding by way of anything that I do, I want to find that and I want to dismantle that, because I'm not into upholding patriarchal structures anymore, because I see what a detriment it is, not only to self, to family, to business, to connection, so yeah, we're starting with our fire signs. So fire signs, in what area are you underestimating yourself? And how can you be true to your passions? Fire signs. Right. Boom. True to your passions. What's holding them back? Okay. Right, fire signs. So for the area in which you are underestimating yourself is the Oshumare in reverse. So this could be speaking to your ability to tap into both your masculine and your feminine energy. You're underestimating yourself and how well you can change between the poles of masculinity and femininity. So it's not necessarily changing between the poles, but having a balance within them. You have the balance inside of you. It's just about your willingness to bring it out and really master working with the two. So there's that. There's also underestimating yourself and your ability to be vulnerable, right? So your ability to have safe spaces to be yourself, to shed yourself. You could also be underestimating your ability to get pregnant, estimating your ability to be comfortable in your sexuality. I should say that as well. And underestimating your ability to transform. It's like you kind of are afraid to change because of what may also change around you. But it's like if you know that you want different, then you're going to have to allow those things to change. So don't underestimate your ability to be able to come up out of it as a whole new being, to really transform, to really work with alchemy, to create a whole new experience just based off of how you feel. It's also about working with the different times of the season too, like those 2 times a year, the time when it's cold versus the time when it's hot. Like obviously, it's split into 4 different times, but it just taps into the polarity, knowing when to go inner and knowing when to go outer. You have that in you, but you're underestimating when the right time is to do it and the power of it. Fire signs be having a fear of missing out, but you're not missing out on anything. And then, how can you be true to your passions and what could be holding you back? Something true to your passions is definitely spirituality. There is a passion in spirituality right now for you, and it could even be the connection to the water. I'm calling it spirituality because I know that that's connected to the mother, but it could just be something that's calling you back home, and that home is by the water. So you can be true to your passions by listening to that call to go back to the water, listening to that call to be able to hold space for others, to guide them, to lead them, but to also be okay with being led. You know what I'm saying? Leaving that space open, the vastness of that. It's expansive, it's everything. And what could be holding you back is what? You have Oba. In this story with her, she cut off her ear to please her husband, thinking that it's like, oh, I'm going to give you a piece of me forever, and you're going to love me forever, right? So it could just be that my fire signs, what's holding you back is love, like unrequited love. And in that case, it wasn't unrequited, but just with everything else that I see going on, it's almost like you keep trying to give pieces of yourself to people, and they're keeping you landlocked, right? They're keeping you away from the water, keeping you away from the fluidity, and tying you into rigidity. So you kind of got to cut some people off. And even if it's not a person, it could be a situation, because it's blocking the flow. It's blocking the flow. It's blocking the creative water. That sacral energy of yours is stuffed up, and it's hard for you to create. So you got to go to the water. You got to go create. You got to go let it flow. And that's also with tapping into that femininity. Maybe you've been too stuck in your masculine right now, and you're underestimating the power of your femininity, or you're stuck in your feminine and you're underestimating the power of your masculine. So don't be afraid of your creativity, and don't be afraid of the different parts of yourself. Fire signs. So in this new moon Leo season, manifest going to the water, manifest community, manifest being comfortable in both your masculine and feminine polarities. And it doesn't even have to be polar. They can mix. You feel me? Let it yin and yang. So there's that for sure. And then don't let nobody stop up your creative energy because of what you feel like you're not receiving from them. Fire signs. Thank you. Now let's go straight to the waters. We had a call to the water from the fire. Estimating themselves. Okay, that's interesting. Water signs be true to their passions, and what is holding them back from doing so? True to their passions. What's holding them back? So you're holding yourself back in ways of your creativity because of what you're tying to others. So you have to find a way to allow your creative waters to flow, or feel comfortable in your own creative waters without somebody walking you through it. Like, you don't need a handheld. You don't have to hide anymore. So it's like you're using this protection. You got all this protection up against yourself, when all it is really a underestimation of your own power. You're underestimating your own creative power. You're underestimating the own power of your love. Yeah, underestimating your creative power is like a blow to your confidence. So I feel like I picked up on that before in the Aquarius season. Y'all still got to shed that confidence, or manifest confidence. Manifest being proud of yourself. Manifest knowing that you can do anything. Manifest attracting that lover. Manifest getting that new job. Like, it's all about your creative power. So if you believe that you can't do it, then you can't. If you believe that you can do it, then you can. You open up the door to those possibilities, or you're opening up your energy to align with what you do want, instead of telling yourself that you don't deserve it. So water signs, tell yourself yes. Tell yourself yes. Tell yourself that you are creative enough. Tell yourself that you are loved enough. Tell yourself that you are worthy. So yeah, there's that. It's like you walking on cliffs when you could be swimming in the water. So don't doubt yourself. And then, how can you be true to your own passions? Really letting yourself walk through it, be in it. You know what they say, like, if you can't take the heat, get the F out the kitchen. So I feel like you can be true to your passion by staying in the kitchen. Stay cooking with it. Stay with the idea. So it's not like something get a little bit hard or get too difficult, or you start to lose the way and then you retreat. No, stay in it. Stay in the kitchen. Stay cooking. You got to go to completion. It's almost like you're scared to complete it because you don't know what's going to happen next. Finish it out. Finish it out. Finish it out. You have the creative power to finish it out. Walk through it. what's holding you back is the 7 of fire in reverse. So it's interesting. You can be true to your passion by working with fire, but something that's holding you back is fire. And what I get from that is that you're fighting an enemy that is not using the same weapon as you. And the second thing is, like, you're trying to do it alone, but you're only trying to do it alone because you feel some type of way about what you feel that your creativity is worth. So be in the kitchen with your feelings, be in the kitchen with your worth, be in the kitchen collaborating with other people. Don't be afraid to collaborate in order to get things done. And it could also just be you fighting your own demons. Like, you know how we are our own biggest critic? You're being your own biggest critic right now, and it's affecting your confidence. Yeah. So water signs, I would say, do some mirror work when it comes to showing how capable you are. 1, 2, reflect on your life and all the things that you have done, that you successfully completed, so that way you can show yourself like, oh, okay, I actually do stuff. You might have had 1 or 2 failures recently compared to all your 25,000 million victories. You know what I'm saying? So just tap back into that energy of knowing that you can. Knowing who you are. And you don't got to fight those different aspects of yourself. If something is coming through to tell you that you're not worth it, sit with it. Listen to it. Let it tell you why you're not worth it, right? So that you can tell it that it's not true. Like, oh, you know what? That's an old program. And just get it out of there. Like, we can't spiritually bypass the work in order to shine for real. You can't just shine and then suppress. No. You got to do the work. All right, water signs. Now we're going to move on to earth. With our earth signs being Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So in what area are my earth signs underestimating themselves? Be true to their passions, and what is holding them back? I can read that like a book. All right, earth signs. So we have the 9 of water in reverse as, in what area are you underestimating yourself? In reverse. So before I was looking at it in a different aspect, but now I'm thinking of, we're underestimating our ability to collect, to bring together, to swarm up, right? To dive deeper into the moon, into the waters, and pull out what it is that we need. We're underestimating our ability to do that because we land walkers. We can swim too, just like we can fly, just like we can walk on fire. You know what I'm saying? So earth signs, we have to really activate our power when it comes to our emotions. We have to really activate our power when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to being able to be in community with others, when it comes to rounding up others, when it comes to being in a group but still maintaining our individuality and knowing how to do that without fully retreating. You know what I'm saying? A balance. A nice, lovely balance when it comes to our own knowing and our doing, our own thinking and our action type of thing. But that's being in flow with the water. So when it comes to how can we be true to our true passions, it's on some priest-like energy. Is it 2 cards? Okay, no. Oshala. Staying connected to the higher self. You can be truer to your passions by staying connected to your higher self. And I mean that in the sense of when we land walking, we got to know that our higher power, our ascended being or whatever is still there. Like, they're here, they're present. So to try to separate them like, oh, well, it's only here when I'm doing this, or it's only here at this time of day, that's not true. They're always there. So you can be true to that by honoring that higher self all the time. Like, it's like if you watching this or you tapping into that, you at that level where you're ready to not only integrate it, you're ready to embody this being that you are. You're ready to really walk as a god on this earth. Be true to that for real. How can you, what's holding you back from that? Your thoughts. Your thoughts are holding you back from staying grounded in the idea that you are a god, that you have a mission, that you have been sent down to fulfill a creative aspect of yourself, to push out that. Yeah, it's all a mental game when it comes to, because it's the air element that's coming to talk. So it's all about thoughts. Your thoughts are holding you back from remembering who you are, being who you are, acting on who you are, embodying fully on who you are. And you got to stop underestimating your power to be there, your power to cultivate, your power to harvest for real, on any type of terrain. I just had to say that. you can harvest on any type of terrain. So now it's time to learn how to harvest in the water. We didn't learn how to harvest on the ground. We was born into that. So walk in your higher power as much as you can. All I can do is say for today. So yeah, just for today. For the rest of this day, remember, and wake up every day like, you know what? Just for today, I'm going to walk in my highest power. Just for today, I'm going to listen. I'm going to befriend my highest power. Just for today. That's all you got to do. Just for today. Don't let your thoughts win. Because they're not even yours. For I talked about that before. Thoughts are not local. So how can we say that they're ours? It's different thought entities that may be trying to keep you from forgetting or truly ascending or fully completing this harvest on water. So go into the river. That's what I've been learning in my sadhana. Right, that is earth. And now we shall do the wind. Let's do the air. And what area are my air signs underestimating themselves? The air signs underestimating themselves. Right? How can they be true to their passions? What's holding them back? All right. Air signs. It says that the area that you are underestimating yourself in is the lover. You're underestimating how much lover energy that you have in you. The ability to not only bring together people, but to bring together yourself. To be able to get up all sexy and attract and love and, how do I say this? Just like that magnetic lover energy. The dancer, the performer, the entertainer, but not in a sense where you are being used for exploitation. It's more like I'm choosing to do this and I'm controlling y'all with it. So don't underestimate your feminine power when it comes to being that lover. Also, when I see this card, I think about being at a party and like bringing together the best energies, the most beautiful colors, the best dancing. It just gives me a very luxurious time, but it's a very heart-opening space, and that's why I say the lover. I think about relationship and your ability to attract a mate. So don't underestimate that part of yourself. It's still there. So, and how can you be true to your passions? All right, this is interesting. So with this 6 of water here, it's about a return. It's about a return to home. But that return to home has to do with like loving energies, people that feel familiar, going back to friends and family, but being able to do so in full vulnerability, in full happiness, and just like releasing the control of it. This is a full surrender card when it comes to being loved. So it's interesting that you're underestimating, as we have something in the air, okay? You're underestimating your ability to love, for real. But the way that you can be true to your passions is by loving. Having that mothering, loving, feminine energy where you're just like, that. What's holding you back from it is the resistance to the love, the resistance to the water, the resistance to the fluidity. And I find that so interesting. It's almost like you keep trying to pull yourself up by yourself, or there's a sensing that you're drowning, so you're trying to pull yourself up out of a situation that's meant to be for you. But the resistance is like, if you just add more love into it, if you add more softness, if you add more femininity, instead of adding more rigidity, instead of adding more practicality, instead of trying to calculate, you know what I'm saying? Stop making it a outer process when it's an inner process. That is all love work. This is all heart space, heart opening, returning back to the mother, having those conversations with friends, telling people how much you love them, being able to receive the love that you are giving out. All of that is coming into play for the air signs. So send in love. I would even suggest mirror work for y'all too. Telling yourself that you're beautiful, telling yourself that you're capable of love. One thing that I recently did was wrote down my needs and how I would fulfill them for myself, so that I would know how it feels to receive them from others. And I think that would be a good thing from y'all right now. Like, yeah, write down your emotional needs. Oh, look. Write down your emotional needs and figure out how you will fulfill them for yourselves. And also, manifest safety and vulnerability, air signs. Manifest the love that you want. And the love that you want doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic. But again, how do you want to feel? What are the conversations going to be like when you're with these people? All those things. But don't underestimate the power of you to draw that directly to yourself, because you can do it, babe. Yeah. Thank you. Again, if anything resonates with you, let me know. And I will see y'all around the full moon.